There have been UFC fighters who were involved in some horrific accidents but miraculously managed to survive. So here is 5 UFC fighters who almost died. Number 5. Top UFC flyweight contender Henry Cejudo, who was in Santa Rosa, California, heard his fire alarm go off at his hotel room at 2 AM. He found it hard to breathe and looked outside of his window and saw that half of the building was engulfed in flames. Quickly grabbed the things he could quickly find and jumped out of the 2-story window on a tree branch. He ran to look for help and was picked up by a fire truck who drove him to safety. The fireman later told him that he was lucky to survive as the hotel was evacuated more than 2 hours earlier. He suffered burns to his foot and is lucky to be alive. Number 4. In 2012, then UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo was set to defend his title against Frankie Edgar at UFC 153. Leading up to the event, whilst driving home, Jose Aldo's motorcycle collided with the car, which sent him flying off his bike. The motorist immediately stopped to check on Jose Aldo. He luckily survived with a couple of bruises and an injured leg. When his coach Andre Pederneiras saw that he was limping in training, he advised him not to go ahead with the fight and was removed from UFC 153. Number 3. In early 2017, UFC middleweight Hector Lombard was traveling with his family, but all of a sudden, he was involved in a horrific car accident. As you can see in this photo, the car is totally wrecked, the windshield is completely shattered, and the roof was crumpled. It's an absolute miracle that Hector Lombard and his family survived without no life-threatening injuries. Number 2. In 2016, UFC lightweight Daryl Hotcher was involved in a horrific motorcycle accident when a jeep pulled in front of him, which sent him flying 240 feet while skidding on the pavement. His motorcycle was completely destroyed and he suffered a broken arm and torn ligaments in his ankle. Just a couple of months later, he came back and defeated Devon Powell by a split decision at UFC Fight Night 112. Number 1. In 2004, Frank Mir submitted Tim Sylvia by an armbar at UFC 48 to become the new UFC heavyweight champion of the world. Whilst riding his motorcycle, he was struck by a car which had flung him 80 feet from the initial crash. He broke his femur and tore all the ligaments in his knee, and his toe had to be sewn back onto his foot. After more than a year on the sidelines, he came back and lost by TKO to Marcio Cruz at UFC 57.